Hi, Lauren. Thank you so much for your work this week. Um, I think that these prompts worked really well for you. I think that the poems that you created are fantastic. I, in particular, really enjoyed this first one about a familiar place, a familiar structure. I think that you really did this location and its history and what it means to you justice in this poem. So nice work. I want to get to your questions. I do think that the physicality of the home shaped the story and helped it to stay organized through the progression from study buddy to friendship to love. Um, I think the detail of the home, the story of us you'd like to see expanded. So the only thing that I found a little bit distracting from the narrative of this was the grandfather, when the grandfather shows up. So throughout sort of the entire poem, it's really focused on the son and the best friend, the son and the study partner, the son and the best friend, the son and the lover, eventual lover or beloved. Um, and I think that the grandfather here, I understand the vibrant armrests held his grandfather's hands one last time. Um, the importance of that detail in a story, but that could be an entire other poem all on its own about the grandfather and the grandfather's presence in this home. So I would encourage you to perhaps take that out because I do think it also distracts from the weight of the next line of the poem. The splinters distracted his best friend from the bruises covering her body, which is such an important moment in this poem, right? That sort of revelation that this best friend is being abused in some way, and we don't know by who yet, we don't know how or what. But that moment of weight and revelation is a little bit distracted by the grandfather and what we assume to be the grandfather's death. So that would be my biggest suggestion for moving forward with this. Exploring new territory, I thought was also really interesting. I absolutely want to go to that winery with the llama. Um, so you had mentioned that you wanted to make it longer, and what are the places that we as readers might want to hear more about? And also the thing about the people. So I wouldn't add people to this poem. I think it would take away from its flow. That's my first instinct. Although I think it would be really interesting to rewrite this poem with people in it and then make that decision for yourself. But my instinct is that what was so engaging about this locale for you was the external scenery with the animals and then the art on the inside of the walls. So, my suggestion here would be actually to just discuss the other animals, right? So, you talk about the family of ducks. What more can you say about those ducks? You talk about the llama in particular, and I feel like the llama is this really um, well described animal. So, what are the other animals? Um, I'm sort of like you mentioned the cows and the calves, but we don't hear a lot more about them. So if there's some way to describe the cows and the calves and the ducks with a little bit more detail, with the same level of detail that you do the llama, I think that would be one way to expand this poem. Thank you so much for your work this week, Lauren, and I look forward to seeing some edits of this.